Oh, hi.
Do the thing. Here we go. Going live. Looks like we're rolling. Gosh, look at this. We got, looks like the Brady Bunch rolling in here. Okay, I don't see any people in here yet. Hopefully we're working. I show nobody watching.
I see 62 waiting. Oh, it just, there's none.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 62 waiting.
Maybe, oh, there we go. Okay, let me know. Are we live, Feast and Friends? I always ask for somebody in the comments to let me know. Are we live and working? Because I don't want to ramble on for 15 minutes if stuff isn't working. So someone in the comments, let me know. Are we working? Can you see me? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're working. I see.
We're good. I got you on my phone here.
Yeah.
We're good. All right. What is happening, Feast and Friends? Welcome to another episode, another live. I think mine is like really behind. I don't know why, but I'm excited tonight. Obviously, we've got some guests. We'll do some introductions and stuff here. What in the heck is this live even going to be about? We got all sorts of stuff planned, but it's going to be kind of all over the place. So I'm going to need you all to leave your questions and such in the side or in the comments down below, wherever the heck it shows up, because we got some fun planned. So we've got Hank, the Bass Geek, over here. The tackle junkie down there.
What's up?
Jim.
You got to look at
And
the
of
people,
course-
Debo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, the Randall, the Dizzle. How are you, sir?
What's up, fellers?
William,
Oh,
Wrong
my
way,
God,
wrong way.
every day.
There we go.
Hey. William Sully said the 4 horsemen of the fishing apocalypse. Dude, that is so true.
Under the depth of night, with the 4 horsemen ride, choose your fate and die.
Oh, my gosh.
I just got
This-
demonetized.
Yep, demonetized. Yeah, that sounded exactly like him. So, okay, so the title of tonight's live is Has Fishing Ruined YouTube? So we're not going to name any names. Like, we're not, the point of this stream is not to call other channels out or say this channel sucks, our channels are better. Yes. Yeah.
Do you mean
Yeah, I think his dyslexia might have just kicked in on that.
ruined bass fishing or ruined like certain lakes?
Oh, how did I say it?
Well, wait, he just said, has fishing ruined YouTube?
Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. I meant, oh, good Lord. See, we're already
What,
going
what
off
you
track.
mean is, has YouTube ruined fishing?
Yes.
But has YouTube really ruined lakes? I think. You know what I mean?
Well, see, dude,
Because
that's one of,
YouTube's
that-
made fishing fantastic. I think. You know.
well, that's one view. So that is one point. That's one point that I've talked about. So we've got all sorts of side quests. I'm
Gonna
sure
be
we're gonna
juicy.
go off on here. It's gonna be juicy. But yeah, the point of our stream is not to we're not going to badmouth other channels. There's so many different ways to do YouTube and ways to do fishing content that I'm just a guy. All of us, every single one of us, are just guys who love to fish. So I don't want anybody in the comments saying this channel sucks. I don't want to see any of that talking about other channels bad. It's literally just a discussion about YouTube in general. And what's it doing to fishing? So, for example, the reason I say this is because I had a guy, we all have people that love our channels. We've got people that would support us through anything. And we've got people that'll, comment trolls or people that literally don't like us. And that's fine because I always equate it to music, right? You're going to have people that love your music and people that hate your music. And I can literally be telling someone, dude, I love Slipknot. And people are like, Slipknot is the worst garbage. How can you listen to that, right? So what got brought up to me was, I don't even remember what video it was on, but the guy commented and said, why would I listen to some dude with, he didn't say a fake beard, but I have been told it looks like I have a fake beard. Some dude, that was, yeah,
It is
Randy,
pretty defined, man. It's pretty defined.
dude, Randy loves that comment. Some dude called me out and said, I have a fake beard. But the dude said, why would I listen to some idiot with a stupid looking beard, a stupid accent, and something else? He's not even a pro. Why is he making videos on YouTube? And it's a valid point. Absolutely. I am not a pro. I've only fished one tournament. I think I was like 10. I did win it. So I am 100% in my victories in tournaments when I was 10 years old.
Okay, well, hold on here. Pump the brakes real fast.
Yeah, what do you got?
Neither one of us have fake beards. I don't really have a channel per se, but neither one of us have fake beards. We don't have accents. Everybody else does. And I won a tournament and, done decent. So they're talking about somebody else. It was a
You should
hypothetical question.
give it a tug just to make sure. Should give it a tug.
It's real,
And
baby.
I just want to say,
all
I'm going to
natural.
break the rules right away. The only there's two channels specifically that I hate that I'm going to badmouth, and that's Debo guy, and Tackle Junkie. I am going to badmouth them all night.
That's fine. I allow it.
Go ahead, dude. Go
I
ahead.
take constructive criticism on my channel. If somebody has legit feedback, I'll take it all day. If you say I'm not going to watch you because you got a stupid beard, get out of here, nerd.
Right.
So the comment is legit, right? Anybody can, not only in YouTube, but any social media has opened up the avenue for everybody to become a critic, for everybody to put out their own content, which I think is awesome. To really doing anything. It's just opened up so much. So what do you guys think? Has, regular guys like us, and I know we're probably obviously a little biased, but I don't know. What do you think? Let's start this conversation. Light the fire. What do we got? You don't have to raise hands. Jim, I appreciate you raising your hand.
I don't want to cut anybody off. I like to talk. So
Yeah, same here. I think we've got 4 guys that like to word vomit a whole lot. I mean, I'll jump right in though.
What do you got?
Being full of word vomit, I will jump right in. There's good and bad about everything. Now, if you want to compare us to the pros, well, that's fine. But I've been fishing in my area long enough to where I can give you prime examples of techniques that have came directly out of my area that the pros had no dang clue about. I have worked expos before they came to Cherokee and told the pros about the Demiki rig. These guys had no clue what it was. There are baits, there are techniques, there are presentations of baits that we know that are local, and I'll give you another one. I'll give you another prime example, and that's the long A, which is a horrible jerkbait. Love you guys at Bomber, but it's a horrible jerkbait. But it is a tremendous wake bait that I catch fish on every single fall. So, guess who comes to a small tackle shop in northeast nowhere, Tennessee, called Watson's, but the missile man himself, Mr. John Cruz. And guess where he gets a lot of his ideals at? That's the deal. So the thing about us, if you want to know why you should watch the everyday guy, which is what all 4 of these guys are, you want to know why you want to watch us? Because we are privy to local trends that the pros are not. And then we're not going to stand there and tell you that we won everything on a KVD 1.5.
Yeah, that's going a bit far. I wouldn't say I'm privy to all that. Now you're making it sound like we're actually smart. We know what we're talking. I'm not a real YouTube fisherman. I just play one on YouTube.
I can't even catch any fish, though.
Wait, hold on. Let's back up here. You say Watson's?
Yeah,
Watson's
hold on.
Marine.
There we go. Write that down.
I'll put it to you this way.
Google.
Demiki Baits sends their guy out there every single year because the Demiki is so popular there. My guy, the Ledgehead, he come out with what's called a drop head, where all the weight comes around the bottom of the Demiki rig. The very next year, Demiki comes out with a head just like it. The year after that, he comes out, and at the show at Watson's, he's got a Ledgehead that's got a blade on the bottom of it. The very next year, here comes Demiki in with the head with a blade on the bottom of it. So,
dude, that's the tough part about fishing is you go down. I mean, we just saw that at iCast, right? We literally just watched, a number of things. That's been all over. Who's copying who, and you can't blame them. Like, if something works and it's something new, people are going to put their spin on it, and I don't know. I'm so torn, when it comes to who's copying who. Like,
I don't really. That doesn't bother me. And I'll tell you what. I actually brought that up to the Ledgehead guy, and he told me. He said, "Look," he said, the truth is that's going to happen everywhere. And he said you shouldn't take that as being an insult. You should take it as a bait designer. You should take that as a compliment. And I just sat back and looked at him and said, never thought about it that way.
Yep.
But, you know, for people that always go on about, that's something else. I agree. And, you know, I'm pretty opinionated. We start talking about this stuff, you're going to get me rolling. And, you know, that's when people talk about the Guggen baits and all that crap. And they're like, well, they're just copies of Strike King. Well, how many companies has got a daggum Cinco? Who come out with that first? Who you gonna fish with that ain't got a stupid copy of a beaver bait?
All right,
Come on, people.
Evolution copied everything.
I'm curious. Are we still
Jim,
on topic? Are we still on topic?
I told you it was going to go. Okay, so Hank
I'm not sure what we were talking about anymore.
I don't know. I was scared that he was going to yell at me, so I just was quiet. Justin Beard, Justin with the $10 donation. We also have my guy Michael talking about Mend It. We are going to try to get Randall a Mend It sponsorship.
I got you.
Michael said Mend It has all of our fake beards glued on. Again, another use that you can market to Mend It, Randall. But Justin Beard with the $10 bomb. Thank you so much, Justin. I never ask anybody to donate, but those of you who do, it goes to giveaways, trying to get more tackle and stuff for reviews, but shipping, all that kind of stuff. So anybody that supports, I appreciate it. He says, yay, catching alive and not needing to listen to it in the middle of the night at work. Yeah, for sure. Graveyard can suck like that. Got to take care of the fam, though. Dude, I hear you. I've worked 2 jobs at once. Man, it's rough. But I hear you, dude. Family's first. You got to take care of them. So,
yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I don't even know what we were on. Bass Geek was ranting about something. Like I said, I was just kind of scared and blacked out there for a minute. But no, he's talking about, and I think that's actually a good point to, a lot of the local hammers. You hear about local hammers, right? That, oh, this dude's a local hammer in that area. He couldn't compete on a national stage. Okay, maybe that's the truth, but I don't think those guys get enough credit, because how many pros do you think are getting tips from them, or how much do you think those guys are teaching others? And that's kind of another segue into is YouTube ruining bass fishing? I think it's helping. Obviously, I'm again probably what's the word? Jaded, I guess, in that decision, obviously, because we have channels and such. But anybody can have their own channel, and being in MMA, I did MMA for 12 years, and one thing you learn real quick is to get rid of your ego, and that everybody has something to teach you. Doesn't matter who it is, even if it's some dude that walks in and sucks at wrestling. That dude might know one little trick or one move of something from Taekwondo, and you're like, oh, actually that could care of this. Everybody's got something to teach. You're always going to be better than people, and you're always going to be worse than people. You're never going to be at the top or the bottom. There's always somebody out there, no matter what you think. So whether it's a pro, I know a lot of people say, well, I don't watch the pros because I don't have a fancy bass boat. I fish from the bank. You can still learn from them, so because they're a pro doing YouTube, you can still learn. So let's try to grab a couple questions. Goodness gracious, I know this is going to go all over the place tonight. Let's see. Creek and Trails, another guy that is always supporting me. Pros can't do bait and gear reviews except for their sponsor stuff. You guys talk about what works and what doesn't. Relatable without a leash. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Pros are often held down by that. I think you're seeing more of that, in the pro world of having cameras on them 24/7. You got to watch them live. They can't do the old, oh, I caught it on this. And it's like, yeah, right. I know what he was catching it on. Now you're in the boat with them all the time. You're watching them live. So I think a lot of that's kind of come to fruition, that you kind of got to show what you're using. That's one
thing that just drives me crazy about the pros. And there's plenty of YouTubers that'll do this as well.
Yep.
No matter whatever sponsor they have or what, it's the best. That's one word that I try to never use, because I haven't used everything. I might have my favorite, but you'll see one pro, he's with whatever brand, it's the best. Next year, well, I guess this company's paying more, this is the best. That's one thing I think that really discourages guys to watch pros, and we're more relatable to a lot of the viewers, I think, because of that reason.
Well, and I know, like, I can't speak for the rest of the guys here, but I know even when I partner with a company, I make it very clear to them that it cannot be an exclusive partnership.
Oh, yeah.
That I have to be able to use other brands and talk about other brands and do videos on other brands, because I'm not going to hurt, people thinking that I'm just filling them full of BS. I want to speak about products at least somewhat intelligently. And that's all I have really, is somewhat intelligence.
And realistically, if you're not going to try to pick up a competitor's product, you're spinning your wheels for no apparent reason whatsoever. You're like, that's probably got to be like, I didn't go to business school, but it's got to be one of the top rules. You got to know what your competitors have to offer and
Absolutely.
how you rank with your stuff. So,
Yep. And it's, dude, one thing I'll say real quick, Jim, is, dude, you nailed it on the head. You and Alex, we'll get to Alex's comment here in a second, but being in the business world, I'm in, insurance and such. And if you want to try to talk to somebody about their plan compared to what, they could be using, you have to know the competitor stuff, because I can't tell you this is the best if I don't know all my facts of, of everything. It's just like anything. You have to do your research. I was going to say something else, but I don't know. Jim, go for it.
The only thing I was going to say is where I feel YouTube has ruined fishing. I think it is on certain lakes where, obviously, the much bigger lakes, I mean, there's so many guys fishing those anyways.
Yeah.
Of course, added pressure isn't good, but especially on these smaller lakes, there's a lot of YouTubers that will say where they're at. And I actually used to kind of shout out a local guy just because I was trying to help him grow his channel, but he does so much of that. And some of these are lakes that I like to go to, and you're just blowing the lakes up. I mean, if I put a picture up and somebody knows where I'm at, I erase the comment. I mean, I never say where I'm at. And the lakes I fish, I mean, they suck. They're terrible. They're not even that great, but they still don't need any added pressure to it. But I do believe that's one way YouTube has really ruined lakes, is because some guys just always, blurt out where they're at, and that lake gets way too much pressure.
It makes them tougher. I talk about, I've got a small lake, and I mean, it is a small lake. I don't even remember the exact acreage of it, but it's literally like 5 miles long. So whatever the acreage, is, but and I always call it Top Secret Lake P. But even with that, people have seen me fish that, and they recognize the area. And I can tell you, schools that I've fished since I was a kid that I'd found during the summer are getting tougher and tougher and tougher. And, I've been up there and fished areas where I know no one has positioned the boat in that way. And I've even had people come up to me in the parking lot and say, man, I've never seen anybody fish this lake the way you fish it. And then go up there and watch them sit there on my spot. And I shouldn't say my spot. It's not my spot. But sit there.
You don't own the public water, bro.
Yeah. But, but
you don't own the water.
New topic.
But, but when I'm up there and you've seen it. Now, here's a question. Common fishing courtesy. First come, first serve, or if you've seen it on my YouTube channel, should you give away?
What now?
Well, if you're an old man in a flat bottom John boat throwing your Zebco, he's just rolling up on whatever you're doing.
Yeah, true. But
honestly,
anyway,
that's like one of the biggest things that like annoys me is like, come on, man, you see me right here, right? And especially for me and Debo, we've had this conversation 1,000 times. And sorry, ranting, but it's like, we're fishing from the bank, dude. You're in a boat. You're in a boat. Why are you up in our grills, man?
No, yeah,
you're like literally casting over our lines. What do you?
Yeah. I won't do that. If I see somebody fishing from the bank, man, I'm staying away from you. I even hate like in.
Let's hope there's multiple trailers in the parking lot.
But.
So Alex Papadopoulos, if you know what to look for, you can learn fishing from anyone. All you have to do is apply your best judgment to what you see. Dude, that's what I've been saying forever. When I used to watch pro fishing back with Dad, and I guess it wasn't even, I did watch some pro fishing, but it was like Hank Parker, Bill Shaw, Bill Dance, those guys. It wasn't professional stuff. It was professional shows, but they weren't really in tournaments. And, they were in their sweet boats But yeah, dude, Alex completely nailed it. I took from them things that they would use, how to work the worm, where they were casting, and then just flip it around and do that from the bank. You know, you can learn from the pros. Don't think that just because they're a pro and they're in a boat, oh, that's stupid, I'm not going to waste my time. Absorb information from everyone. We got a couple other donations coming in. Don't want to miss any of these. My guy, Mr. Thomas Palmer, a good supporter of the channel, with the 10 bomb. Thank you, sir. I've learned so much from Debo and Jim, and now from Hank, and I'm so appreciative. Thank you, guys. Dude, Thomas, the thanks all comes from us. Yeah, we appreciate you, man. And a 20 bomb, Kern River Rod, another good supporter of the channel. TJ, Hank, Randy, Debo, what's your number one spinnerbait? Any type? Okay, so we'll stop there. Okay, well, that's kind of second question. What is your favorite trailer to use on that bait? Thank you all. Well, thank you, Mr. Kern River Rod. I don't know your name, but my favorite, well, back in the day, for sure, it was a man spinnerbait. Like that's what I cut my teeth on, and that's what became a confidence lure for me. Now, dude, there's so many good ones. I mean, I've used, I used the battle baits earlier this year. Cumberland, I was just throwing theirs. Strike Kings. I mean, there's so many good ones now. War Eagle. I'm sure I might have just stole Randall's.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. What about you boys?
I'm going Picasso InvisWire, the .028. It's a lighter wire, and reason being, I fish pretty dirty water, pretty stained up, pretty muddy water, and most guys are going to tell you to use a Colorado blade, but for whatever reason, in that muddier water, I just don't have good luck with that Colorado blade. There's a ton of shad in these lakes, and I just believe a willow blade really mimics a shad to a T as far as size goes, profile, vibration, all that. And with that particular spinnerbait, it has the most vibration, versus any other double willow spinnerbait that I've used. So for that reason alone, I like that one because I get the flash and profile that I'm looking for. Plus, I feel I get some added vibration with that particular wire. That's my go-to.
I will jump in and also say that there was a local group or a local maker. I want to say, I don't even remember what town they were in, but we have a annual, usually in February, at the Iowa State Fair. They have like a big campus kind of place, and one of the 4-H buildings or whatever it's in, with all the used flat bottom boats. There was a company, I want to say it was like Flaming Lures or something like that. They made a really nice spinnerbait. There was nothing special to it except for the blades with the turtle backs on them. And I don't know what you guys refer to a turtleback as, but it's like Colorado willow kind of combo, but down the middle there's a crease through it. And I remember when we first ran across those things, dynamite. Couldn't go wrong. But War Eagle also, so just saying.
Yeah, for me it's the same. I mean, it really does depend on the situation.
Except it's 17 ounces.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say the ledge hog, during the summer, with a big swim bait on the back of it, it's like a 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce with like a 8 or 9 blade on it. And, but I like, during the spring,
got like a 4-speed reel for that?
It's a 5.
Yeah.
It's got a 4-cylinder connected to the reel.
Yeah. But then, like Debo said, the Cumberland Pro Lures, I like theirs. They've redesigned it, and it's more compact. The spot sticker, it's a heavy. You can get them up to 1 ounce, and but it's a compact. The Strike King, I don't remember what is it, the Deep Diver or whatever it is. Really liked that one too. It's like up to 1 ounce. You notice a theme here when it comes with me. The heavier spinner baits, but there's just like Randizzle said just a second ago, there's a local company and doesn't Booyah make a 3 or 4 blade?
Yep.
Yeah, so
4 blade.
there are times in the fall when I love a 3 and 4 blade spinnerbait.
Oh, look, go figure. Jim's got one hanging behind him.
If I do, I'm going to die. I think I do.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Okay, we're going to answer.
Actually,
jump to Adams real quick.
It's just one.
So Adam said, I
it's a
agree to
double.
a point, but look at the other side of YouTube. It's opened a new world of YouTuber to fishing. So Adam brings up an awesome point, and that's kind of the other end of the spectrum is, has fishing ruined it, or has YouTube ruined fishing, or has YouTube helped open fishing? And I think YouTube has helped with a lot. I mean, you can go on and YouTube, how do I change a tail light, on my truck?
Mm-hmm.
How do I, like anything like that? And fishing. Now, I think where it comes to using your judgment is, what kind of people do you like to watch? What are you trying to learn? And you're going to gravitate towards certain channels. Can you relate to them? Do you like their personality? Do you like, what they're fishing? Whatever it may be. I absolutely agree, Adam. I for sure 100% think it's opened up so much. That's why I got into it. I mean, people were telling me, hey, there's people on YouTube that fish and this stuff. Like, you should do an educational channel like them and help other people. I'm like, what? I didn't know this was a thing. And I still say to this day, I'm pretty sure the first YouTube channel I ever watched was Cornell over at YouTube Fishing Vids. Mm-hmm. I think that was the first channel I ever saw. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Has it helped? Has it opened up? Has it shown stuff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I mean, there's pros and cons. But I think overall, we're not just having to read Bassmaster, And when we go out there
Saturday mornings to watch fishing shows.
I say it all the time. I fish highlands reservoirs and super clear water. And when they start talking about 45-degree banks in the wintertime, and that, I used to go out and go, they're all 45-degree, man. Where are these fish? So, I'm like, flats. I'm like, I don't got a flat on this whole lake. So, I was rather confused. So I just did what I call beating water until I figured it out. I just take the lure and beat the water until finally I caught something and got it together.
You went casting up.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think? Have you guys seen any comment? Oh, go ahead, Randall.
I just want to say one of the biggest things that really kind of grinds my gears, Family Guy reference, but it's like, the majority of fishermen, like the bigger fishermen that I see on YouTube, they don't promote any, or I don't want to say they don't. The majority of them don't promote any type of good ethics when it comes to fishing. Like, I was watching a video the other day and they were peeling plastics off of, they're throwing Texas rigs. They were peeling plastics off and just chucking them back in the water. It's like, why are you doing that? Because then I take a look at my local lake and I see the bucket brigade coming out with their cans of crawler, their styrofoam things of crawlers, and nobody seems to really care about the environment or the actual body of water itself, and they just want to rip some lips and cross some minds and catch some donkeys. It's like, I wish a lot more people started to actually do that conservation. People, I don't know how many times you and I have, made the joke of, oh yeah, so I just bird's nested 140 yards worth of braid. Let me cut it off and just chuck it back in the water.
Do I throw this all in a ball right here on the bank where I'm at? Yes, because clearly everybody does. Any place I go to, there's a styrofoam worm bucket and about 80 yards of wadded up mono or braid sitting next to it. Dude, we need to have
the crazy thing about Iowa,
ethics live. We can go on about this stuff.
Yeah, just real fast. Around here anyway, I don't know about you guys, but they have these little PVC tubes next to the majority of boat launches or jetties to throw your line in. Like, are you that lazy that you're going to walk past this thing, but you would rather just chuck it in the water or do whatever? I mean, maybe it'll get a goose or two. I'm fine with that. But like,
Randall,
you're that. I'm kidding.
Devils in disguise, they may be. Remember, we don't leave
But it's
evidence.
like, come on, man. Right. No. But yeah, sorry. I'm hopping off my soapbox now.
Okay, so back to Kern River Rod. I'm sorry, and I completely forgot. What trailer do you use and why? So if I use a trailer on a spinnerbait, for me, most of the time it's going to be kind of a profile thing and add a little bit of weight. So a paddle tail that has little to no action, or even like a small fluke type deal. Otherwise, I don't get too crazy, because if you get too big of a paddle tail, it'll make the spinnerbait like roll on its side. So something like small because the spinnerbait's got a whole disco party going on with flash and vibration, and like you don't need the plastic as far as to add to it. I don't think anyway. That's me.
Were those Strike Kings that you had, Debo, that had the elongated skirt bit went down past the stinger hook?
Yep. Yeah, with a little skirt. And when you pop that, because when I fish a spinnerbait, I don't just reel at a certain speed. I'll reel and then like pop it. And yeah, that extra like skirt will like look like a tail on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, what were you going to say? I know you're another spinnerbait.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't really care for trailers. 95% of the time, I don't have one on there. I don't like using paddle tails because I don't like the extra lift. But like you said, I'm looking for something for bulk, I'll use maybe a fluke or even like a little finesse worm. But like I said, I always start out with no trailer. If I'm catching a lot of fish, I may put one on to get a little more bulk and try to get a bigger bite. But most of the time, I don't use a trailer.
Yeah, the only prereq for me is I said a paddle tail most of the time, but most of the time the only time that I'm using a trailer is when I'm throwing those giant, and when I'll throw something like that right there, a big grub, and that's 90% of the time during the shad spawn.
So. Yep. Yeah, back in the day, I used to throw. It was either that or one of these. Was all I ever threw on, and these I forget what they're called, twin tails. This is I think I brought this up on my last stream, but
the menace.
I like those.
These little twin tails. Mans used to make them. Is what I had a bunch of the round ones. I don't know what these are. Do they say? No, I think like Jim said like a zoom.
Yeah,
did I just call you Jim and Zoom together. But yeah, like a ribbon tail worm or like one of those things. These are actually from my old tackle box from when I was younger. We're going all over the place. So Kyle Skaggs with the 20 bomb. Thank you very much, brother. Said, hey guys, just wanted to say thank you. I've taken my fishing game to a whole new level the last 2 years, and I owe it all to all of you. Dude, that's what keeps me going. Yeah, absolutely, Jim. That's what keeps me going is I've almost quit a number of times. Randall saved me one of them, whether he wants to admit it or not. I would not be here talking to all of you if it wasn't for Randall. So everybody owes him a thumbs up, a hug, a like. He literally saved me once. But there's been other times that I've thought about quitting.
Oh, yeah.
And it's stuff about, stuff like this. Like people leaving these things, it blows me away. And that kind of opens up another thing to YouTube. I think it allows regular random guys out fishing to show what fishing is really like. Now, not all channels show this. And somebody said it. I didn't get a chance to pin it real quick, but somebody said, I love how some YouTube channels just show regular fishing, because I think, social media and some YouTube channels promote like, oh, I caught my new PB or like the biggest fish. So you like your, what's the word? Your like idea of fishing is when you go out, you're thinking, oh, I can always catch big fish like these guys. And then when you don't, it's
or you have to because everybody else does.
Yeah, everybody else does it. What? Yeah, why do you suck so bad? And that's not the case. Like it doesn't always go like that. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that, or I'm sure you've talked to people about it.
This season for me is a prime example. I mean, I go out and fish in, huge tournaments and, have a just god awful year. The first tournament of the year, I zeroed. Me and my partner completely zero. Like last year, I'm having a great season. I'm catching 20-pound bags. This year, I will take a 10-pound bag anytime I can get it.
Right.
Mean, it's been a tough year for me, and that's fishing.
Tournament fishing is a different beast than like recreational fishing. Though,
unfortunately, unfortunately for me, it's been my recreational fishing.
Yeah.
Listen, I suck right now. I'm just going to be honest.
Dude, if it wasn't for those ponds that I fished, dude, it'd be a terrible year for me, man. The main lakes, dude, I can't buy a bite.
I need a good day so bad.
Yeah, it's been a grind. And I think so part of it, that I always tell people is don't try to time fishing. I talk to guys all the time that I went out once in the last 2 weeks and it sucked. Like I suck at fishing. I'm going to wait until X. Like, dude, fishing is a numbers game. I've literally had days where either I will go out the day before and get skunked, and then the next day have an amazing day, or be literally teetering on the edge of I'm just going to sleep in, or I'm just going to go do X or Y. And then I end up going, and just by the off chance, I timed it by this, I caught fish. Like fish are like people. I don't eat all day. I eat at certain times, and sometimes it's not always the time that you might think. And dude, you'll hit those feeding windows. You'll hit an hour of just insanity and then nothing the rest of the day, right? So I always tell people, get out and fish as much as you can. If you're in doubt, go fish. Or like Randall always promotes, hour to fish. You know, you might have an hour to go out after work or before work or on your lunch break. Do it. Go. I don't know where I was going with that, but there we go. We got
you were going to
go for it, Randy.
Donations. No,
Yes,
the only other thing I was going to say, and God, let me stop bringing up topics I want to get on soapboxes for. I just want to say, like, one of the biggest things is you said earlier when it relates to, you know, I caught my PB, I did this, I did that. I don't want somebody to promote that I illegally trespassed onto a property that is posted saying no trespassing, no fishing.
Me and Randy's just tagging.
Take the extra step. Turn
Hank's mic.
Go talk to the owner. And like,
can I do that?
Mute
go.
Hank. Hurry, mute him.
I did it. I muted him. I'll speak for Hank. He agrees. I guarantee what he's going to say is, I guarantee what he's going to say is, watch where you trespass, because it's the same here in Iowa. And who knows in the hills of Tennessee or North Kakalaki or wherever the hell he's at. Old boy might have a shotgun waiting for you. So, yeah.
You won't get the cops called. You'll get shot, and then they'll call the cops.
Yeah. Don't mess with that, guys. Okay, so here's another. This is a whole other soapbox you can get on. All of us are older too, right? So I did crap like this when I was younger. Like you have to take these. Not this. I didn't trespass. We asked permission the couple local spots that we had, but other stupid things that I could have died doing, like crazy stuff. But as you get older, like now I think of that. If somebody was busted if I had a pond in my backyard and somebody busted in and was trespassing, I'd be freaking pissed.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm now the old guy, get off my lawn, and you don't really appreciate that until you have a family and you have your own lawn that you have to upkeep and things that you're trying to grow. If you have your own pond and you're trying to stock that pond and catch big fish, and you want to take your kids and grandkids, and then some jerk is out there catching fish or taking fish, people do that. I don't know. So go ahead. What
is cooking giant bass?
Pew pew.
Yeah, shots fired. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know what, like. I got stickers today. I'm super excited. I got some new stickers.
Don't tread on me. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot of people that aren't going to say, please leave. Like, they're going to tell you a different way. Okay, so Ray, my guy Ray, another supporter of the channel, said, my good friend Mark and I always bring a 5-gallon bucket or bag to pick up trash. Our water is super overfished and covered in trash. Had a couple spots shut down because of it. Yeah, dude. I used to carry a Walmart bag, like a little plastic grocery bag, and pick up stuff. And I was just spending so much time picking up stuff. I don't have the luxury of fishing all the time every day. I just stopped doing it. So I'll admit that I've gotten lazy on it, but it's just what?
Our next outing, double challenge. Most fish caught, most garbage picked up. 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot, whatever. Done. All right.
Or whoever catches smallest fish has to pick all the trash up.
Oh yeah.
Whoever kicks Debo in the water the best.
Whoever catches the smallest fish has to lay all the garbage out and make it rain on you, like those movies.
Oh, it's just snap swivels and
rusty hooks.
Yes, I was gonna say old Eagle Claw hook wrappers and styrofoam worm things with like rotting old worm dirt. Yeah. Okay, I told you this was gonna go off the rails tonight when you got 4 of us nerds talking about fishing.
Oh boy, look at the time! Look at the time.
Oh, we're only at 38 minutes. I thought we were gonna be close to an hour. We got all kinds of time, boys. Okay, if you guys see any good comments, I'm going to try to go back and grab the couple donations that I think I missed here. So Kyle was the last one, right? Kyle, thank you, brother. Ray, okay, I got Ray's.
Oh.
Let's see what I missed. There's too many comments. I can't keep up with y'all. I love that there's the interaction. It makes it hard for me, though. Okay, so Matt Flanagan.
I literally turned on my computer looking for this and forgot
Matt,
about it.
Are you always the this or that guy? I love these. I want to have a whole episode. I'm going to have to post a comment thing in the YouTube deal and do just this or that. I love these. I think it must be Mac. I need to write him down. So Mac, this or that quick. We're all going to go. Okay, so let's go. Spinnerbait or bladed jig? Spinnerbait.
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 I'm gonna go bladed. Wait, can I?
You would.
No, never mind. Bladed. I'll do a bladed.
I figured you would.
If I can't do an underspin.
Ooh,
underspin's not an option, right?
Underspin. Not an option. This or that. Daiwa or Shimano?
Daiwa.
Shimano.
I think I'd say Daiwa too. Oh yeah, we don't have to ask Randy.
Shimano.
He hates Daiwa.
Shimano.
Me and Randy are like long lost twins.
I know. Two nerds. Dude, if we ever meet up, it's going to be me and Jim versus you and Randall.
Fat boys!
Done.
Versus good-looking guys.
There you go.
Okay, so fun. Okay, here, I'm going to let the cat out the bag.
Debo?
Not only are Jim and I the most handsomest, I hopped on this stream, and when Jim came in and sat down, I had this same shirt on today from filming. I'm like, oh my God, Jim, I got to go change. So I luckily had this from an unboxing next to me. I'm like, I'm going to change. Literally the handsomest, and we have the same wardrobe. So
handsome dudes think alike, you know.
Hey,
I'm gonna have a shirt made for me and Randy, and it's a double entendre. Team Tubbs. That's right, baby.
Hey, well, we'll think of something. Straight tail or curly tail?
I'm going curly.
Tail.
Is twister tail curly tail? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm going. I guess curly.
That'd be your straight tail. Yeah, like a Zoom trick worm. Dude, I don't know. I've caught so many fish on both. I guess I'd have to go curly tail. A white curly tail grub can catch anything and everything.
Ooh, those cut R worms, dude. Those are awesome.
Cut tail. Texas rig or jig? Texas rig for sure. For me.
Texas rig.
We know Randall's answer again.
I don't have to answer jig again, do I?
Yeah, I'm going to go jig too.
Dude, it is. It's going to be us. Me and Jim versus you two.
You can swim a jig, you can burn a jig, you can jig a jig.
Oh, dude, we need to get you some of those topwater jigs.
Butter a jig.
I'm tagging
you
him.
Can top
He's
water
my
a
best
jig.
friend now.
I need to hit up Bateman to find those. Guggen or Guggen? I would go Guggen.
Yeah,
I've heard it here, folks. I would go Guggen.
Guggen.
I honestly, I was at Bass Pro today, and I didn't buy a single Guggen anything. Like I wanted some.
It's because you got them all.
The mini. Well, I wanted some. Okay, so the trench hogs, the mini trench hogs. What are they? They're not 3. Maybe they're 3.5, 5.5, something like that. They're the smaller trench hogs. Those are amazing for a bladed jig. Just saying. Check it out if you haven't.
Did my stuff just buffer there? Did I lose you guys for a second? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
I got you.
Oh, that's strange. It showed me like just buffering. Okay, so Michael with the donation. Those are fun. I love the this or that. I need to get with Mac and do a whole. We need to do like a whole episode of this or that. That'd be fun. Those are fun. Yeah. Michael said all the equipment and gear I have is because of the 4 of you. Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, me too.
I've learned so much from all of you. I love a chance to fish with any of you, dude. I would love to if we could get back to regular stuff and everything wasn't so crazy. I'd love to do a meetup or something like that in the near future. I'm going to keep grinding at it, but thanks for watching, dude. Sorry you've gotten into the tackle addiction, but we all appreciate it.
I'm blaming Debo for it. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I think I'd probably still be throwing one jig rod and I don't know, some ridiculous pink braided line or something.
Oh, that was because
I always tell people I live in a Bible Belt, which is unfortunately heavily encroached upon by meth, and I tell people you're cheaper to become that sort of person than become a tackle junkie.
Good Lord, no,
don't do it. It probably is cheaper though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably is. Okay, Hudie with the $10 donation. Thank you very much, man. I'm trying to get my 6-year-old daughter into fishing. What would be your go-to lure to tie on the end of this little 2.5 foot frozen combo? The old frozen combos. We have a Mickey Mouse combo. My girls. So I started out
like
with
a little jig head and a twister tail, yeah?
Well, what I was going to say is ours came with like a little fish thing, and I got these like fake fish lures. So I would say before all that, because literally they're going to have like an attention span of like 30 minutes. Like unless they're literally catching fish, one after another, you've got about 30 minutes is what I find with my girls. And for them, just casting stuff out, like just with this little fish thing before they even got into fishing stuff, just casting that out and reeling it in. Like just getting in that motion, they love that. And then to me, it's got to be just a bobber and like a little piece of worm, just so they can catch anything. Kids don't care if it's a 10-pound bass or a bluegill that it's this big, as long as they're catching stuff. So for me, it's going to be a little bobber and just some worms. That's all you need.
I agree. If she was graduated,
how quick are you taking that rod?
Oh yeah, I can take that and do a challenge, dude.
No, I'm saying if one of your girls hooked up on a 10-pounder, how quick are you taking that rod from them? Be like, look what I caught here!
I caught this!
PB! PB never falls in, but still lands the fish.
I started both of my boys on, you can get the little wire frames, I guess kind of like a beetle spin, but you can get the frame separate.
Yep.
And then I let my boy pick out some blades. We get some jig heads and put a little grub on the back. But I found out something like that where he could throw out and reel in, even though he wasn't catching fish, it kept him more like involved versus just standing around, waiting with a bobber.
Dude, you nailed my fishing growing up right there. That's literally why I became so in tune with spinnerbaits, is because I'd be out on the boat with Dad. It'd be 8 billion degrees, and he'd be catching fish left and right on a Texas red worm. No freaking clue what I was doing, but at least I could cast and retrieve the spinnerbait. And then I just learned where it worked, where it didn't work. You nailed it, man.
And too, to be honest, have an arm like that, it's kind of weedless. So, I mean, they can throw it around. They're not getting hung up a lot. And it's a good way to go.
Great point. Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully that helps, man. What else do we have for questions? Okay, what else? Any other topics you guys want to bring up for has fishing? I can't believe we're only at 45 minutes. I was going to say, man, it feels like with Hank yelling at me, I thought we were at like 2 hours or something. I'm looking for an excuse to go.
I'm passionate. I'm an ex offensive defensive line high school football coach. You know what I'm saying? So gotta be passionate. A little heated.
So what do you guys think? Any other oh my god, hook sets are freezing here? We're gonna get Tyler on one of these shows. He's a fellow tackle nerd and junkie like us. But what have I missed that we haven't brought up? Has YouTube ruined bass fishing? So we talked about pros, which I think is cool that now you can watch the pros. It's number one, it's another outlet for them to earn money. It's a way for them to share and talk about fishing, because a lot of them, somebody commented earlier on, the difference between pros and regular anglers is pros are fishing for, what did he say? Who was that? Pros are fishing for like money or for a living, and regular guys are whoever said that, if you can put that quote, because dude totally nailed it. But you see the pros doing how-tos, you see all that stuff, and like we talked about, you've got all that at your fingertips now, whereas before you had to read magazines, you had to wait till Saturday. What else? Where else are we going with this? I don't even know. We've hit my big point.
Honestly torn on YouTube and like what it's done. So you brought up earlier, like, oh, I don't know how to change my tail light on my truck. I got to go watch a video to figure it out. But then on the other hand, I think one thing for me anyway, at least when it comes to jig fishing, when I started throwing a jig, I didn't have a YouTube to go watch. You could go watch, like you said, Saturday morning fishing, like not cartoons, but Saturday morning fishing. But they're not really going through techniques. You're just watching them cast and hook sets, I went out, I got jigs, and, I talked to my buddy. I went out and, networked, I guess you could say, and try to figure out what is going to work. And then, I did the good old fashioned just trial and error, just figured it out, So overall, I think it's probably a good thing. Aside from my soapbox stuff earlier, I think it's probably good, because hopefully it's going to get a lot more people in. And again, if we can just get some more people giving some positive things about if you mess it up now, it's not going to be around later on. So again,
I
I
agree.
off the soapbox. I threw it out in the hallway, so I shouldn't be back on it later.
And I agree. I know, there's some things that drives us nuts, but I'll say it again. There's good and bad things, but overall, the reason why I got into it, was I got a comment from a guy today, and he's in Philadelphia, and he's talking about how, they look up to me, which please don't look up to me. I'm only going to lay it down. But but they've learned so much, and he loves the, where I've been talking about, spy baits, and he wants to learn more about that. And I didn't have anybody, my dad didn't fish. He was a truck driver, he was providing for the family. My granddad fished, but he liked Jack and Coke. Mom wouldn't let me get on the boat with him. And so, when I started fishing, I mean, I did it. It was me, myself, and I, and, my Bassmaster magazine. And,
I think it really shortened the curve. Exactly what you're saying is, before you either had to rely on dad and grandpa, if you're lucky enough to have them even around, or if they fished, or you'd have a buddy or uncle, somebody that could show you that stuff. And now you've got, dude, if you want to consume it, you can literally go down the fishing rabbit hole. And
and that's the thing, I mean, even though the parts that drive me crazy, is about, guys seeing those top secret holes that I've been fishing since I was a kid, it forces me. And I was talking to my buddy King Basson, who was in that topwater video where I just came out a couple of days ago, and I was telling him, it forces me to become a better angler. Those fish are still there,
for sure. Yep. But
now they've seen 100 underspins, they've seen 100 swim baits, they've seen 100 this and that, and sure, there's guys that are throwing, the Picasso 1.5 ounce chatter baits out on ledges, but they're not talking about it. There's guys that are throwing, spy baits for ledge fish, but guys aren't talking about it. So, it's it forces me to start doing things and thinking outside of the box.
I agree. And the thing is I could even hand somebody could walk up to me and I could tell them, this is what I just caught them on. Here's where I was catching them. I could literally hand them my combo and they still couldn't catch those fish. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have those people that, even if I told them exactly what I was doing, they still wouldn't understand it. Right. And then you're going to have those people that could go out there and catch fish 10 different ways. Oh, Randall, 10 other different ways, things that I was not doing, and they would catch those fish. So it's like, I think it has done, more pressure, like Jim was saying, spot burning. And I've had people reach out to me and say, dude, I hate you. You've spot burned. And it's like, I'm not even a big YouTuber with like big important lakes and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't ever say the spot, that's not my intention, is just, I'm out fishing, So my guy, Mike Vogel, another good supporter of the channel. What weight is the cutoff between dink and a catch? Dude, I'm the wrong person to ask. For me, 95% of them are 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Anything below 3 pounds is a dink.
In tournament fishing, for the most part, if you can weigh in 5 bass that are 15 pounds, almost anywhere, anytime.
Jim, what do you think about between
lake limits?
That was a joke.
What?
He just stopped talking. I just muted him and said, Jim,
I was done saying what I said.
When he starts talking, I don't pay attention. I don't
It's like Charlie Brown's teacher over there.
I just know it's going to go on for 10 minutes. I'm just trying to think of something else I can say.
No, Hank's right. If you can put 5 3-pounders together, I mean, you can win a lot of money if you can consistently do that.
Especially around where I live at.
Yeah.
You win a lot of money.
What about you, Jim? You're awfully quiet down there. What do you think?
Lake limits, if it's like 14-incher, if it's only being like 1.5 pounds or whatever, but if it's 14-incher, 13-inch, whatever the lake limit is.
What if it's a 12-incher?
If that's a lake limit 12-incher, I say it's a keeper. It's not a dink.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, I like the way.
I
Jimmy
mean,
thinks.
I've seen some 12-inch footballs out there, man, that
I
are
agree.
surprisingly like,
Girth.
slobs when it comes. You know,
Earth.
it's hard to say considering we're up north where we don't get quite the growing season as what somebody from the south
Exactly.
might get, and so we're talking what we have maybe 4 months, 5 months on a good year of good growing season for bass or for fish in general. Maybe a little bit more, give or take. I mean, if it's a pike, nobody cares about pike, but you know what I'm saying. If it's
Snot
I would
rocket.
You're right. Oh my God! Did we just become best friends?
Now he's going to go on. Now Randy's going to go on.
I've been telling
box 1 and 3
Debo
now.
I've been telling Debo that I want to be on the live stream with Randizzle forever.
Dude, get him on. Get Randizzle on your next live stream.
I was like, I want to be on here with you. I don't have his number. I don't know how to get hold of him.
Well, I can hook you up with that.
Yeah, but we'll talk after.
No,
who cares? I'm down.
Yeah, size is relative. I completely agree. If you're fishing a golf course pond in Florida, the smallest fish in there might be 2 pound, and that's fine. I'm not, discrediting them. If I had those places to fish, hell yeah, I'd fish them. There's places around here where, there's pretty good lakes where you're catching 1.5 consistently, or lakes where like you're catching 6 inches. So to me, I don't know, for me, like 1.5, if I'm catching 1.5, to me, those are keepers. If they're under 1.5, it's kind of a dink, but
I could back it
up. I mean, let's just.
I could back it up to.
All I gotta say is, PBs. My PB is 5 pounds. I'm sure you guys. It's not uncommon to come across a 5 pounder, right?
Yeah, it is. Well,
But,
believe it or not, like 6 pounds here. Like there's a lot of tournaments or a lot of like bass clubs here that have a 6 pound pot, and sometimes that'll go on.
Okay.
Those tournaments will go on for a year and a half, 2 years, and nobody wins it.
Sure.
So that,
Dang.
I mean,
that
Matt, so like here's a perfect example. Matt said I catch average 2.5 to 3.8 pound fish almost every time I go out, but here and there I land that 4 and 5. Oh, so here and there he lands a 4 or 5 pounder. Yeah, so he's catching like 2 pounders is kind of his, normal. That's It depends on where you're at.
Can we just pump the brakes? Can we pump the brakes and find out where Matt lives?
Please?
I agree.
Can you please
Man, if you'll just go ahead and drop those
average
GPS waypoints in.
Yeah, let me mute Matt here. No more typing from Matt. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's answer some questions. Let's get in the comment section here. What's the heaviest professional bag? I don't have any clue.
It's got to be big. There's some of those.
It's got to be 40s because
so large.
Yeah, because
so
like
large.
on Chick, I know my buddy and a guy by the name of Rodney Brown caught like a 42 pound 5 fish limit down there in a tournament.
I wouldn't know what the hell to do with one of those. So here's a good one. Stoney's Dead, another good supporter in here on the live streams. YouTube is the reason. So here's another cool thing. I notice when I call out a lot of these supporters, you guys both at the same time are going, "Oh, hey, X person, Stoney." It's so cool that you guys and gals, watch not only my channel but Hank, Jim, Randall, all of us. And to me, that's awesome. That's one cool thing about the YouTube fishing community is you kind of have this divide. I feel like, sometimes it goes back to high school and there's only certain guys that'll talk to certain people. And like, you're only cool if you watch my channel. But, I think all of us would agree that a big picture type thing. All of us are growing together. There's enough room. I don't care what you say for all fishing YouTubers to grow together. It's not just I need all the views and I'm trying to everybody else is an enemy. So anyway,
just don't watch anybody else but us and we're good.
No,
I'm kidding.
You know what's funny? You know what's really funny?
Just watch me, not Hank, because he's a bully.
I think what's funny is I feel like I'm closer with you guys and some of my subscribers compared to people that I actually know here. You know what I mean? I've never even met you guys. Or haven't even seen the faces of some of my subscribers. But I feel like I talk with them more and know them more than my neighbors,
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. Amen to that.
Yeah.
Stoney real quick said, YouTube is the reason I got back into fishing. For people like me that live out in the rural countryside. I didn't learn from a family. So like we're talking about, didn't have, somebody to teach him. It's the only way we have to learn. Yeah. It's completely reduced that learning curve of, back in, when I was little, you'd learn this, and, kind of trickle stuff along the way. Now you can dive in and just learn so much. So that's cool. And I get that a lot. I'm sure you guys too, of people that, have been out of fishing for a while. I was too, I was out of fishing for quite a while, and we've helped get them back into it. That's cool. That's awesome. What else?
Can we just let's just jump back real fast? So the question about the dink cutoff, when I initially read that, I read it more along the lines of like lure size versus like, are you fishing a super tiny lure to catch the dinks versus do you always have to use a bigger lure to catch the toads? That's when I glanced at it first. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And
so like the big lures catch big fish, or
that's a lie. I've caught some dinks, like 1 pounders on a 6-inch 6-aught swim bait.
Yeah, like, dude, that lure is bigger than what you are. What are you doing? Get your life together. And like my first 5 came off of like, I don't know, like a 1/8 ounce like micro spinnerbait. And so yeah, I just wanted to swing back on that because I couldn't get it off of my head.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was Leatherneck that somebody else put it in there again that said pros fish for a living, amateurs fish for, God dang it, he put it in here again and I missed it again. Pros fish for a living.
Who said
amateurs, I don't know. I thought it was Leatherneck. Somebody else call it out again, whoever said that. But that's another good point of, so what YouTube has done, I think, in a lot of channels has shown like just regular fishing. You don't have to have a super expensive boat. You don't have to have tons of crazy gear. Yes, we do. We go down that rabbit hole, and a lot of us as anglers buy more gear than we need. Some of us more than others have a whole tackle shop with anything at arm's reach behind them. But no, it's a good point that
you can't reach that.
Well, look at him short arm it. It's like,
now he went T-Rex arms. Yep.
Can't do it. Can't reach it.
That's a great point. That do you think there's a difference between going full-time YouTube? People have asked me that. If you ever went full-time, would it be counterproductive? And that's one thing that I always said I didn't want to go full-time, is because would you hate it? Would it be a job that you're just doing it for a living? Then would you not have as much fun?
Well, this could be a long one here.
This could be a whole.
It's a whole nother stream.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
But that being said, though, I mean, that pros fish for a living implies that, there's less pressure on us. And I don't know about y'all, but, I just hit 44,000 subs. And when I go out, if I'm, having a bad day, I think about that. I think about letting those people down and not, not being able to do well. I've got a buddy named Brandon Card who's an elite professional, and me and him was talking at the Watson show one day, and me and him was talking about it, and I told him, I said, the one thing, I know you're fishing for a living, but if you're having a bad day, you're still cashing a $10,000 check, in the top 50, and you don't have a camera in your boat watching you suck. So I do. You get to see me catch 20-pound bags, and you get to see me catch one stupid, 12-incher.
Hey, for some of us, that's a victory.
Oh, trust me, on those days it is. For this year, it has been a victory.
See, the thing about a pro, though, is like, I wouldn't want to go down, unless I'm like a billionaire to start with. It's like, bass boats take a lot of gas to fill up. And it's like, if I'm going to drop $150, $200 just to fill up my boat to go practice, and then the next day have to do it again, and then again, and then again, like 6 times in a row to maybe cash 10 grand. I mean, I'm gonna go walk around on the bank for a while. Sorry, guys.
But but no, those guys are getting paid very well. Even
Yeah.
I will
the thing
tell
is,
you,
Sure.
I don't care what you're getting paid. I have said it before, and I would say it again. A pro, you have to want it. You have to be
you do.
100% competitive. You have to want that lifestyle because you're going to be on the road 6 out of 7 days of the week. You know, they're gone, what, 300 days of the year? Something like that.
Yep.
I mean, you've got to want that grind. Like Randy said, how often do you go out? I know I do it. You know, I'm not super old yet, but I'm you know, kind of middle-aged, 37. I don't even know how old I am. Jesus. I'll go out and fish a whole day from, you know, morning till night on the chances that I get to do that. And I'll be super tired. Like, I'll be stiff. I'll be sore. Like, dude, I'm beat. Like, I just want to go home and sleep. Can you imagine pre-fishing 2 or 3 days of that? Fishing the tournament 2 or 3 days
How
of that?
many times have I said, like, throwing frogs, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't lift up my arms because my shoulders are destroyed because I threw frogs all day long. Like,
You better hit the gym, boy.
Yeah, that's what I said is, dude,
Better hit the
I better not
freaking
ever
gym.
hear you
pitching
saying
a
you're trying
jig
to
versus
throw frogs.
chucking a frog. Come on now.
Man, I'll tell you, he's going to be in real trouble when I bring him up here and we're throwing A-rigs all day long.
I'm saying. Dizzle, you better sit
Man,
that one out, boy.
those big lures scare me. That's just, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna put it out there right now. They scare me.
But you know,
Like,
I mean,
half inch, I'm like, or half
you know,
ounce. Sorry.
you know, though, I mean, and I fished the tournaments this year, you know, a $10,000 tournament, you know, for first place, they pay well down. And I mean, that's the biggest weekend tournament and well, it's the third biggest team trail in the nation. And I'm telling you, man, you know, it gets your competitive juices flowing. But yeah, being out there 3, 4, you know, the Cherokee event, I think I practiced like 3 or 4 days and then had the tournament day. And I mean, yeah, dude, I'm a fat boy and I'm out of shape and I'm 47 years old coming up on 55.
Like,
it hurts.
Practicing 3 or 4 days to hope that tournament time comes around and it's similar weather.
Well, dude,
Yeah,
it's, you know, for me is I have a bad day and it's like, crap, I didn't get a video today. You know, I got to go out and try tomorrow. If you're a pro angler, oh crap, you have a bad day. Guess what? You're not getting a paycheck to come home and feed your family.
Right.
Like, that's a whole different sort of anxiety and stress. And I couldn't do that. Couldn't do it. So Thomas Palmer, we all have bad days. When you guys have one, we know we aren't by ourselves. That's why I'm not afraid. All 3 of us will show bad days, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It might not get the views. It's not the most clickbaity, catchy. But, dude, yeah, like, we all have bad days. It happens. I think it's cool to show that side.
All I've had is bad days this year.
Yeah, Debo, it was real cool that one time you caught me in my worst day when I lost like 20 jigs in a day and I ended up chucking my jig rod.
And through your rod? Dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
That's all right. I showed the time of me.
Awesome.
I showed the time of me throwing my rod too. So sometimes you get there.
And stepping on them.
What else do we have? Let's see. Let's answer some questions. Dude, I can't believe we're only at an hour. I feel like we've been going on for Jim, you're too quiet down there. Pick a question for us.
Pick a question. Let's see what we got here.
I want to see that handsome mug talking.
I'm throwing some jabs in there, you know.
I
Guys
know,
are saying here.
Yeah, me. Dang it.
Hank, I'm about to mute you again. Quit getting all unruly.
Devo, sorry, I'm going to fish the southeast here.
Fish in the southeast, another good supporter here. Let's see, what did he say? Diz, I have
5, 6, 7s, 9s.
got many 5, 6, 1, 7, 3 8-pounders and 2 9-pounders. Good
I
lord,
want
dude.
his waypoints.
Yeah, dude, you've got a YouTube channel. I better be seeing all these. Good golly. Let's see. Daniel,
I might throw my rod in if I hook up with a 9. Sorry.
Oh, it's so large. Just throw it in. Okay, so Daniel T said it's the common person buying the gear from the big sponsors that make it possible for pros to even have a job fishing. That's part of it that you have to remember is, and we've gone off all sorts of other tangents, is, yeah, you might see pros like, you know, talking about this stuff, but you got to remember that's the biggest way that they make their living, right? If they didn't have those sponsors, they couldn't fish the trail, they couldn't get the boat, they couldn't get the, you know. So I don't look at it as a bad thing. Again, it's selective. What's the word? Where you limit what you take in. Like, you know, you can say, well, they're only promoting that because they're sponsored by them. But if you only consume the part of that you want and use that to your, benefit,
Right.
then to me, it's not a big deal. I don't care if they're sponsored. I don't know. Jim, what
It's
do
all
you
about
got? What,
perspective.
I'm with you,
and how
dude.
you
Yeah, I
look
mean,
at things.
KVD is one of my favorites to watch. I mean, dude's awesome on camera. Obviously, he's a fantastic fisherman. But like you said, just take from it what you want. Don't look too far into it, But yeah, I do. I mean, I enjoy watching the pros. Not that I don't enjoy watching YouTubers, but if I'm going to sit down and watch somebody fish, I'd rather find an old KVD video or Edwin Eber or something like that. That really piques my interest.
And I mean, that shirt right there has probably got 200 pros. I'm a huge fanboy, fanboy of the pros. Yep. So, I don't mean to knock them or sound like I'm knocking them in any way. I'm at one point in time, I wanted to be one. And, unfortunately for a lot of, and I'm not putting myself in this category, but I know a lot of good anglers, really good anglers who, like Randizzle said earlier, didn't have the means and the opportunities to be out there.
I know. Can I just say, like, when it comes to pros, like one of the best fishing shows that I think I've ever seen, that really hit home, I guess, with me, fishing rivers and stuff like that around here, was Ike and Ellie's City Limits Fishing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever saw that. And then later on, somebody else took over. I don't remember who took over the show, but it was like literally he was just putting his boat in at the local launch. And I mean, sure, there was probably a little bit more production to it than what I'm like giving credit for, but like he literally was just going out there. And that's the kind of stuff that I really like, with any of you guys. Like, I mean, I can't put myself in there, but like you guys are just going out there and it's literally, for the most part, besides somebody down in the bottom corner, but like, fishing local ponds, public ponds and stuff like that, not catching awesome topwater.
I think I read Daniel's talking about reading into it what you want. Daniel said, I was meaning they should be thankful for us because we're buying the gear that is supporting them. So, yeah, dude. Damn it. Sorry. Here we go. Don't listen to old Debo.
Hey, I've got one. It's from Philip Cheek. And it says, Tackle Junkie, what percent of that back wall is square bills?
Philip, awesome guy. He's actually sponsored my whole Project Blueback. We're going to get to
that area.
Can we get a pie chart of square bills, and then
we won't go over probably the hundreds are in boxes over here that you can see.
And see,
we won't mention the probably 80 that's in the boat. We won't mention those either.
I give Jim crap, but okay. So there's two sides to it. Number one, tackle buying, shopping, like collecting, is its own complete other animal next to fishing. Like it's fun just to go out and buy new stuff and try new stuff. And some people are going to say you're just saving it for, a rainy day, or like, dude, why buy it if you can't use it? I don't know. Why do people collect beanie bears or whatever those things were back in the day? Dude, those things were so stupid. I never understood that crap. Like, what the hell? People were fighting over them.
As Debo pushes his box of Beanie Babies underneath the desk.
Jim, did you find a question? Where's your question? Oh, my God.
Seeing more of guys just talking, not really too many questions, to be honest with you.
My guy Dersh, always in here. Talk about the guy working the graveyard shift. I don't know if you're on break now or if you're actually watching, but he said, my PB is 7.9. Dang, I would love to have that in New Hampshire. Do you guys have any interesting PB catches? Whoops, I didn't mean to knock that off. No, mine's not really too cool.
No.
I caught it on a why can I not think of their name now? Beast Coast Miyagi in the gill color. Actually, mine was kind of funny. So I casted it out and I had a little bit of a backlash and I was picking it out. And as soon as I picked it, I didn't even have my camera on yet. I cast it out, didn't have my camera on, and I felt it take it. And I'm like, oh, dude. I'm like, it's going to be a decent, like, I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even know it was big. I'm like, I got to get this on real quick. So I turned on my camera, like, just thinking, I got to get this catch. And I let it run with it for, a decent amount of time. And then I waited till my camera's on. I was checking. It's blinking. Yeah, okay. I set the hook in it, like, it doesn't move. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, what? Like, this is good. And as I'm reeling it in, so I didn't even get the hook set, any of that. I'm reeling it in. And it was, mine was right at 7 pounds, 6.9 something. It didn't actually say 7, but if I did, if I'd have bounced it, I could have got 7, but it's, you know, just under 7, 6.9. Yeah, nothing huge.
Here's one from Gene, if you want to pick one next.
Gene.
All the years y'all been fishing, do you still remember that one that got away, that stuck with you? It's that 843.
843. That's a
There's
good
more
one,
than
Gene.
one. There's way more than one that got away.
So Durst, thank you
anyway,
for supporting and dropping the donation. You donate every time. I appreciate that, man. Gene, do you guys have one? Is there one that haunts you?
I got one. It's not like it's a super long story. Just on the lake that I was fishing, my PB on that particular lake was 5 pounds, and this one was definitely over that. I'm saying 7, 8, easy. I mean, it was a stud, and square bill in brush, got her out, and bringing her around the boat. I mean, she was basically running the show. I mean, I didn't have a hold of her, and she's going towards the back of the boat. At that time, I had my tracker and I had the power pole, and I knew that was going to be an issue once I got to the back of the boat. I'm just pretty much walking around the boat, and as soon as I lifted the rod up over the power pole, trying to come down the other side around the motor, she jumps and throws it. But I mean, I seen her. It was definitely well over 5 pounds, but it would have been nice.
Did she like turn and like do a side fin was like, hey, and like,
well, she stuck her tongue out. She stuck her tongue out too.
That's what Randy always says. They flip me off as they splash.
Yeah. That's one I would like to get on the scale.
Mine would have been a new PB. It was probably right around 8, maybe 9. I was just learning how to fish swim baits, and I had my daughter with me, and to this day she's like, Dad, that's the biggest mouth on a fish I've ever seen. And I'm like, thanks, honey. I love you too. Keep bringing that up for me, why don't you? But it was on this bait right here, which is a Shadalicious Ghost Shad. And, you know, this is a 5.5. It's really a 6 point. You know, this is how big I want you to understand how big this mouth was. It literally had this far down inside of its throat. When it jumped, it was probably 30 feet from me. It didn't even jump. Its head just come up out of the water. And so when you're fishing big swim baits with a jig head on it, you've got the hook here. And what ends up happening is that if you don't side set, if you do upset, you have to get that rod tip down to keep them from jumping, because what this acts as a pivot point, and that tail wiggle and that jig head will wrench the bait out. So it comes up, you know, I'm a jig guy, you know, up until that point had never really fished a swim bait. It's a single hook. I'm setting it like a jig. Crack. Right? Wrong. The wrong thing to do. So you side set, you drag it in, and so I set, and of course that gets them coming up. Here comes this massive head. Here the bait is down inside its mouth, and I see its head just do this, and the bait go whoop, and then do this, and the bait go whoop, and then this, and it just goes right at my head. And I just almost cried. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Debo, what do you think that? What do you think the one was that top water frog that one day? That was over 5, right?
Which one?
Think? Where I should not have even have cast it, you know, with the little spillway in that little pond right there. That was really scummed up. So it's the big open pond, big spillway where the water constantly pushes out. That one time we went out.
Dude, that
one was big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been.
I would say you missed your PB for sure. Yeah.
I don't know why I would have cast it at that point in time other than to try to beach you into the water, because you always like do that. Oh, hey, did you drop your wallet over there?
And like
sprint down there to the water. Oh. And so, like, I had no right casting that. And I remember that fish coming up, and I was, 30 yards from where it blew up and where it jumped at, maybe? Elevated, maybe-ish.
Yep.
And it was big.
Yeah, it was big. And I remember I went back and watched it, and it was a big fish that blew up. I don't necessarily have like one specific one, but both of mine have been on frogs and just swinging on them, and lure gone, broke. And people are like, how
can we get a different question going here? Or
okay, Kuda brings up a good question here, or a comment, I guess. So not to hit the red button, but the difference between pros and amateurs is soon going to be an extra 10K in electronics in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. I mean, it's keeping up, kind of keeping up with the Joneses type thing is, for a long time you saw professional anglers, fishing with bare bone electronics, and you saw a lot of guys doing real good fishing up shallow, just like I would beating a bank. And guys could make a great living like that. Well, now you've got, a pretty big divide between the guys that fish shallow and the guys that are offshore, electronics guys. I don't know. I don't know enough of the, the pro world to say one way or another. I think live scope is cool. I'll never have it. If I had access to it, I think it'd be fun. But I
know
look at
I brought it up before, Debo. Like, would the pros be the pros without the gear / electronics that they have today? How much of a difference truly is there between you and I, and then a couple of pros, with or without electronics?
It definitely cuts, like we were saying before, it definitely cuts that learning curve. And I think Hank has kind of preached this before, is, get what you can afford, because just even like now, I'm just dabbling and wetting my toes into side imaging and down stuff. I've only used, like, my dad's only had, the bare bones stuff. We'd look for drop offs, and that's what we'd fish. We weren't even looking for arcs, really all that stuff. We would find like a road bed or a drop off, and then we'd fish it and figure out, are there fish there or not? But now you can see, like, guys looking at the arcs and stuff, side imaging.
Now, electronics.
You see that bass sitting down in their recliner, reading the newspaper, smoking their pipe.
Yeah, you see these pictures of guys on Instagram, like, oh, hey, did you lose your boat? There's a sunk boat here, and then, like, it's an exact picture of a boat. Like, crazy.
You see the Tackle Junkie logo on the side.
Yeah.
Too much hair on there.
I'm a pro electronic guy. I mean, I love electronics. I'm a computer geek. That's my day job. It's just what I love. The pros, honestly, though, I mean, those guys, and a lot of it there is an amount of natural talent there. Those guys can put things together quicker than guys like us. That's a big, big key. MLF, the Cup series, which is my favorite part of that, where they take them out and they've really got basic electronics. And, they're catching 1-pounders, but those guys go out and catch a ton of fish. That really, to me, shows the difference between the pros and, like, guys like us. But I'm all for electronics. I don't think the progress is not going to stop. I think the electronics companies dump, just like the boat companies. Here's why professional fishing is being outpriced to
mute Hank in 2 minutes, please.
Lower middle class, and it's because the boats, the boat pricing.
It's taking a turn.
I knew there was going to be a speech coming after we started talking electronics.
The electronics, but I'll tell you, man. I've got. You're talking to a guy that's got 3. 10 and 12-inch grabs on his boat, and I'm getting ready to add 2 more plus the 360 mega and the whatever hummingbirds, the mega live. So, to me, it comes down to a question. Here's a simple question for you: do you want to go fishing, or do you want to go catching? That's the question. How bad do you want to go catching?
Myself, I mean, I don't have great electronics on my boat. I got a couple Helix 7s on there. And I guess when I get to the lake, though, I mean, for one, you fish clear water. I feel they're much more important in clear water versus a dirty water or muddy water lake. But I get there in halftime, I don't even turn them on. I just want to go fish.
Well,
I feel,
now, though, with the 360 mega and the forward-facing sonar, I had a buddy tell me the other day they put a 26-pound bag together, watching them come up in 3 foot of water and hit buzz baits.
Wow!
So it's changing the shallow water game too.
Right.
So,
but are they targeting that area because of the electronics, or they just watched it happen?
Well, and I'll be the first to tell you. So anything, let's just round it off to 10 feet, right? That's where your side and down imaging, your 2D is going to come into play. Now, I've said it when it first come out, when Garmin first come out with it, it's not that it's going to change finding fish, but it's going to change. Now we don't have to guess, well, how are they reacting to that color? Oh, they're hitting the front hook, so they love it. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. That's what that particular forward-facing sonar has changed. That's how it's changed the game. You go down a bank, you're throwing a bait, you see fish come out of a tree, they don't hit that bait. Now you know they're there.
Right.
Now you come back and you figure out what is it that they're going to commit to.
Yeah, and all great point. I don't even know how to answer it. Derek brings up a good point of, to me, it's the skill of reading the electronics, not just having it. Mm-hmm. Dude, you're 100% right. True. You could give me KVD's boat with everything that he has on it now, and I wouldn't know what the flip I was doing with live scope or any of that stuff. I would be like, there's pads over there. I'm going to go throw frogs and take pictures in KVD's boat because this is badass. So, yeah, it's learning to use it. You know, there's some guys that really excel at that, and I don't know. I don't even know how to go down the rest of that rabbit hole. But
that's one thing with me. I haven't put the time in with them yet. You know, I just want to go fish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. All right. So we're almost at an hour and a half. We're at an hour 25. Let's each pick a question. So everybody in the comment section, we've still got 280 people in here. Damn, y'all are awesome. Everybody that's donated tonight, thank you so much. It's been a super fun stream. We're going to do, each of us are going to pick a question and answer, and then we're going to get out of here. Hopefully it's not one crazy where Hank's going to get up on another podium. I get kind of scared when Hank starts rambling off. I don't even want to interrupt him.
I didn't know it was going to be that kind of night.
Debo, you need to get one of those wrap it up boxes from the Chappelle show. Wrap it up, yo.
Wrap it up. Come on. Dude, I can do banners and stuff. Look at this. Hold on.
Why don't we put a timer on Hank's screen?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
I need to upgrade. I need to be like Hank and upgrade to the cool version where I get all these features. But I can do this. I'm at below Fishing Friends. Look at that. That's big for me.
I'm gonna get a timer ready right here and just
Hank, I do not support any of these comments other than the wrap it up comment I made. These guys are bullying you. I get it. I understand.
It's super hot here. Go-to lure for this August heat. I would say Wacky Rig. For this year, each year it kind of changes a little bit, but for me this year, stuff gets tough. As far as bank fishing, I don't know about y'all fishing 1,800 feet deep in clear water reservoirs, and but for me, it's been try to go around anything I can with a Wacky Rig, and it just catches them. And I've tried out a number of different Wacky Rigs this year. Do I have it on me? Oh my God, I do still. So I just got done filming a video. Here's a hint.
The odds of that, in his pocket.
Shut up, Jim. I knew that was coming. Literally, as soon as I grabbed it, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
The odds of that are pretty dang slim.
The 6 Sense Cloud, the 48 from Missile Baits, just trying a bunch of different stuff. But dude, the Wacky Rig, it's a fish catcher.
I'm going with just the 10-inch ribbon tail. Reaction baits have been terrible, really, this month with the heat.
Yep.
10-inch ribbon tail has been doing work. It's a big, beefy meal. Hard to beat in summertime.
I'm
going to go one deep, and it's going to be an underspin for whatever reason. Underspin or a 12-inch worm. And then the other is going to be shallow, and it's going to be some sort of topwater. A popper, a walking bait, or a buzz bait, or
Heck, you just listed off the whole tackle.
Basically, his whole wall. Dizzle, you're up.
I'm going to jump in real quick. Leather Stocking Angler with the 5 bomb. Thank you so much. If you have a question, leave it. I will get to it. Anybody that donates, I always want to make sure I call those out. So thank you very much. Dizzle, go ahead. What's yours?
I'm gonna say like a weightless stick bait. It's one of those lures that I'll go with every once in a while, and then see you later, Debo. I'll go to, and then I'll set it down because something else is fancy, and then I'll come back to it, and it just seems to work. What was the lure Well, I would literally just talked to you today about a Debo with the Texas rig with the floaty bell on it. I don't know
Debo,
how
look
else
in your
to
back
describe
pocket, buddy. Look in your back pocket.
What now? The floaty bell?
it. Is this your card?
Well, that'd be in your other
with
front
the
pocket. Other front.
yeah,
I don't know what's happening here.
with one of these weights.
Oh, free rig.
The free rig. I'm like super jacked. I'm gonna throw that tomorrow. As soon as we get done here, I'm gonna go tie one up and maybe
Dude.
just cast it into the street
I
for
like
a while
it.
and see what happens.
Tyler was asking me about this. Hook sets are free. I did just get done making a bunch of these. I do have my Do It hat on. Good folks that do it. Shameless plug. Not even shameless. They're nice people.
What's going on
anyway,
at the end of it? Is there something in there, or is that
It's
just the
I
color of it?
made some EWG net heads with the Do It stuff. He was asking about those. That's all.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I'm just showing
So
it. It'll be a
what's that?
video. Okay. So let's see. Y'all need to pick a question. That was my
I'm
question.
looking. I'm not
Okay.
seeing many questions.
Ray EB, if you could only bring 2 combos for the entire day in the heat, what would you bring and why? Well, for sure. Number 1 right now is a frog. And don't just think you need like pads and stuff. I mean, you can fish overhangs, shade pockets, anything shallow. Today I was actually catching a number of fish that were like dirt shallow. So frog and I would say wacky rig. Frog and wacky rig.
2 combos. I'm saying, yeah, I'd say top wire. I'd probably go buzzbait. I like a buzzbait. And Texas rig rod, 10-inch worm.
Buzzbait's been good.
I'm going to do a bait caster and a spinning rod.
That's what mine would be too. Yeah, bait caster with frogs.
I can pretty much do whatever I want to, Randall Pink Floyd Bobber Manor.
See, I'm going both bait casters. It's going to be a walking bait and a underspin.
Damn, that might be the shortest answer that Hank gave all night.
And it really interesting. We didn't even say why though. It says why.
That's all right. I don't know if we have enough time for that.
We ain't got time for Hank's answer.
Yeah, we ain't got time for why Hank would do it. Good Lord. Well, back in 1734, started the. What do you guys got?
You need to check out that comment from Michael there.
Michael.
That just happened.
Steak?
3 up.
Debo, I'll drive down, but you're buying the sausage. Oh, dude, if I ever fish with people and we do a meet up, I will for sure provide you with B's and G's from Casey's.
Debo's gonna roll back the tonneau cover and open up the tailgate, and it's just gonna be like steam billowing out from all the B's and G's in there.
I freaking love B's and G's. Okay, we got another one here, so we might just do maybe this one. Maybe we'll try to grab one more. William Soley, thanks for all you do on YouTube. It's because of the 4 of you, my scouts have earned. Oh, dude, yeah, Mr. Randall Soley. Because of you, my scouts have earned their fishing merit badge. Thanks again. Keep up the great work. He actually, dude, I actually teared up when I opened up your package. I've got a whole different subscriber unboxing, but dude, I appreciate it. I know I saw Jim give the fist bump. We all appreciate it. We're all blown away that we can help, and I don't even know what to say, man. For sure.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you for what you sent.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What else? You guys see any? My guy Chris Russ, another local Iowa guy. Hopefully, I'll get a
hungry
meet
over here.
Chris. I know. I'm getting hungry too. He said, "You bring the B's and G's. I'll bring the blueberry donut holes, dude. I freaking love blueberry donuts.
Those are good even off the ground, huh, Debo?
I'm still eating it. Fishing the southeast. Here's a good one. All of us. This or that. Popping or walking frog.
Popping.
I would say regular walking because I can make a regular walking frog pop, and I don't think enough people do that or vary up their retrieve.
I'm going walking.
I can't make a popping frog walk or a walking frog pop, so can I have a jig instead?
Or jig. Snakeheads. Okay, pike and tackle. Snakeheads. Yeah or no, dude? I want to catch snakeheads on frogs. It looks fun as hell. We don't have any up here.
Aren't snakeheads like mean pike?
Yeah, they're like little, like big lower jawed pike with teeth. Looks
They
fun.
scare me.
They're like
They
eels,
scare me.
right?
No,
They're
not
kind of like
eels.
eel-like.
Yeah, they kind of got that little flat tail. It's not like a fishy tail.
All right, 905. If you have to fish with one lure the rest of your life, what would it be?
Who was it? Oh, here, outdoor angling. Okay, last question. All of us are going to answer it. Then we're getting out of here. If you have to fish with one lure for the rest of your life, okay, Jim, you read it. What's it going to be?
I guess is it because if you have to catch fish, it's like one of those type deals.
We'll give both answers. If you have to catch
question.
a fish, and then if you could just be throwing it and having fun.
If I have to catch a fish, I'm saying shaky head, 7-inch straight tail worm. And
do you have a specific color?
Probably June bug.
Okay, that's close to gooseberry.
And then I'd go with good old square bill. My favorite weight fish.
I like it.
Shallow cranking, man.
I'll go quick. Frog, as far as fun, I could burn a whole day on frog blow-ups and not catch anything.
Right.
You have.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I would say wacky rig. I would say, yeah, I'm going wacky rig. As if I had to catch one, green pumpkin, some sort of stick bait. Hank and Randall, what do you got?
Go, Randy.
I'm gonna say for fun. Honestly, for fun, I'm gonna throw a frog. Crazy answer. People probably didn't expect it. For necessity, I'm going a crawler and a bobber for necessity.
Really?
If I had to catch fish.
What?
Did you boot him for that answer?
Did you just say crawler and bobber? Later, nerd. That was not me.
My drop.
Bull, dude, that was like perfect. You had
that was impeccable timing. He didn't want to hear Hank's 15-minute answer,
that
so
was
he's
the
like,
best
"That's
thing I've
it."
seen all year.
Wow.
Mine's pretty. Hey.
My answer was so controversial. This thing kicked me off of the server.
YouTube booted you.
You just said crawler and bobber.
The NSA,
get out of here.
The NSA got him. Mine's simple. If I have to catch fish, 3.5-inch swim bait on an underspin. What I like to throw, 5 to 6-inch swim bait on a half ounce.
Slightly bigger swim bait.
Yeah.
A girthier swim bait. A swim bait that's
girthier.
All right, fishing friends. Well, it has been a crazy night of fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. I had a ton of fun. I love you guys. Randall, Hank, Jim, thank you guys so much. I'm honored that I can have you guys all on the stream and talk fishing. But that's it. We're getting out of here. Follow those guys. Hank, Bass Geek, where can we find you? Bass Geek at Bass Geek on the YouTube's Bass Geek.
If it's Bass Geek, then it's Bass Geek. That's all I can tell you. Bass Geek
Jim?
or Bass Geek Fishing.
Jim,
Tackle Junkie 81. Tackle Junkie 81.
Tackle Junkie 81 on all your streams. Randall, until you get going,
Hank,
you can find Randall with me.
Hank, I think I'm coming over to your house, so I'll be there.
I got a room anytime.
15 hours, 16 hours, something like that. I'll be there.
Anytime.
All right, everyone. We're getting out of here. Love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. And until